The wind howled outside the small, crumbling apartment, rattling the windows as if it, too, wanted to escape. 11-year-old Anna curled up on the old couch, listening to the argument unfold in the next room. Her parents had been fighting for months, harsh words, slammed doors, nights filled with angry silence. She pulled her knees to her chest, waiting for it to be over. It was always the same. "I can't do this anymore, David." Her mother's voice rang out. "I'm leaving." "Then go," her father shouted back. "You think life is easier out there? Fine. But don't come back crawling when you realize it's not." A moment of silence followed. Anna barely had time to react before her mother stormed into the living room, her suitcase in hand. Her face was tense, her eyes hollow. "Come on, Anna," she said, gripping her daughter's arm. "We're leaving." Anna looked at her father, still standing in the bedroom doorway, his face set like stone. "Dad." He didn't say anything. Her mother pulled her towards the door, but something in Anna resisted. "Where are we going?" she asked, heart pounding. Her mother hesitated. That hesitation was all Anna needed. "Stay, then," her mother said, voice clipped. She let go of Anna's arm. "If that's what you want." And then she was gone. The door slammed shut. Silence filled the apartment. Anna turned back to her father, hoping for reassurance, for comfort, for anything. But he just sighed, ran a hand through his graying hair, and walked away. Not a word. Not a glance. It was as if Anna had disappeared, too. At first, Anna tried to keep everything together. She still made breakfast every morning, still packed her school bag, still tried to talk to her father. But he barely spoke. He spent his days at work, his nights drinking. Sometimes he didn't come home at all. Days blurred into weeks. One afternoon, Anna returned from school to find the electricity had been cut off. The fridge was empty. Her stomach growled as she sat at the kitchen table, staring at the single can of soup she had left. She wanted to believe her father would come home and fix everything. But deep down, she knew better. Anna woke up to the sound of drawers slamming. Blinking the sleep from her eyes, she tiptoed toward her father's bedroom. The door was half open, the dim hallway light casting long shadows on the floor. Her father was packing a duffel bag. A sinking feeling settled in her stomach. "Dad," she whispered. He froze for a second. Then he sighed and continued stuffing clothes into the bag. "You're leaving," she said, voice barely audible. He didn't look at her. "I can't do this anymore, Anna." Tears pricked at her eyes. "Neither can I, but I'm still here." He zipped the bag. "You're better off without me." Anna wanted to scream, to beg him to stay, to remind him that parents weren't supposed to leave their kids behind. But the words got stuck in her throat. "Where will I go?" she finally asked. He walked past her without answering. The front door opened. Closed. Anna was alone. The first night, Anna convinced herself he would come back. The second night, she rationed the last of the food, just in case. By the end of the week, she knew the truth. No one was coming for her. With no money, no food, and no choice, she packed a small backpack and left. The city swallowed her whole. She wandered through streets filled with honking cars and strangers who barely spared her a glance. At night, she found shelter in a bus station, curling up on a bench with her jacket pulled tight. Hunger gnawed at her insides, but the worst part wasn't the emptiness in her stomach, it was the emptiness in her heart. People walked past her, too busy to notice a child shivering in the cold. She wanted to scream, to tell them she existed. Instead, she disappeared. On her fourth night on the streets, Anna met Riley. She was digging through a dumpster behind a restaurant when she heard a voice. "You're doing it wrong." Startled, she spun around. A girl about her age, dressed in a tattered hoodie, leaned against the alley wall. "You gotta check the bakery bins," the girl said. "Less garbage. More bread." Anna hesitated. "Who are you?" "Riley." The girl smirked. "And you're hungry, which means we're friends now." Anna didn't argue. Together, they scouted out the best places for food, shared stolen apples, and huddled together at night to stay warm. For the first time since her mother left, Anna wasn't alone. But safety was temporary. One night, as they tried to sleep behind an abandoned building, a group of older boys found them. "Look what we have here," one sneered. "Two lost little girls." Anna's heart pounded. Riley grabbed her arm. "Run." They bolted. The boys chased them, their laughter ringing in the air. Anna's lungs burned, her legs aching as she pushed herself forward. Then, her foot caught on something. She fell. Pain exploded through her hands and knees. She barely had time to react before strong hands grabbed her by the backpack and yanked her up. "Gotcha," one of the boys whispered. Anna struggled, but he was bigger, stronger. Riley turned back, her expression torn between fear and determination. A siren. Blue and red lights flooded the alley. The boys scattered. Anna collapsed, shaking. A woman in a police uniform knelt in front of her. "It's okay, sweetheart," she said gently. "You're safe now." Anna didn't believe her. Social services placed Anna in a foster home? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't home. Her foster parents were kind, but they had other children to care for. The house was loud, crowded. Anna often felt like an outsider, a shadow lingering in the corners. She went to school, but she barely spoke. Teachers looked at her with pity, but no one knew what to say. She missed Riley. She missed her parents, even the ones who had left her. She wondered if her father even knew where she was. She doubted he cared. At 13, Anna was placed with the Parkers. They weren't like the other foster families. Mrs. Parker baked cookies on Sundays and hummed as she cooked dinner. Mr. Parker taught Anna how to fix a bike. They had a son, Ethan, who was annoying but funny. Anna didn't trust it. One evening, as Mrs. Parker tucked a blanket around her shoulders, she whispered, "You deserve love, Anna. You deserve a home." Anna wanted to believe her. She was tired of running. One day, a letter arrived. Anna stared at it. The return address belonged to her father. Her hands shook as she opened it. "I'm sorry." That was all it said. Nothing else. No explanation. No promise to find her. Anna exhaled slowly, then folded the letter and placed it in a drawer. She didn't need his apology. She had a family now. One that stayed. Years later, as Anna packed for college, Mrs. Parker found the letter in her drawer. "You never answered him," she said softly. Anna smiled. "I didn't need to." She stepped outside, the wind brushing against her face. For years, it had whispered to her, carrying voices of the past, echoes of loss. But now, it spoke of something else. Hope. She wasn't abandoned anymore. She was found.